This is Surya, and in this video, I'll show you how you can build your own Wispr Flow instead of paying $20 per month on subscription. And I did the same. So, if you want to do this, the first thing that you need to do is basically check out my GitHub repo in the link. I have a file there, and I vibe coded all of this to build. So here in the GitHub repo, there's all of the files that you will need in order to do everything. So um, I'm pretty sure you can see here in the bottom right section, there's something like a box called custom flow. So this is what lets me actually type. So I'll just show you an example on OpenCode. So I use both OpenCode and Cloud Code for the projects that I've been doing recently for a while. OpenCode, if you don't really know, it's basically just like Cloud Code, but you can use other models. You're not just limited to Anthropic. Um, Hey, this is Surya. I want to build a voice dictation tool that lets me transcribe my voice, format it nicely, and make sure there are no um, fillers or no unstructured text, spoken text, and make sure that everything is like structured and formatted nicely. And see, you can see how fast it actually kind of did this. Um, so yep, it's much faster than typing large prompts. And I was facing this issue where in Produce I was typing like quite a large bit of text, and it was taking me about 15-20 minutes per those system for those prompts. And it was much better to just use a voice typing tool. It saves a lot of time and edit. And then you can edit the text if you want as a second thing. So yeah. So in order to access this, just click on the code, the green button called code, and in the arrow section, just download the zip. And once you have downloaded the zip, you're like make sure you have extract. Just click on extract all, and what it's going to do is basically decompress the um, zip. So basically, it will have like decompress the custom flow folder, and then you'll be able to access it. So as you can see here, there is like a dot env dot example. You won't really have a dot env when you download this. It will be just dot env dot example. So you need to kind of update this, um, like rename this to dot env. So just click on this file and just rename it dot env, and just then select notepad to edit it. So here once you go here, you'll have a few things. So the way I actually triggered this voice tool is basically I hit alt uh, in my laptop, and I just press that. So I just pressed it, and I kept on pressing it uh, until I had what I wanted to speak. And once I was done, I just lifted my finger, and it basically transcribed that whole thing. So let's first go to Deepgram. So if you guys don't really know what Deepgram is, it's basically an STT um, platform. Like they have a couple of models that they let you host. So like your like they have STT, they have TTS, which is basically speech to text, text to speech, and voice agents. So the model that we want to use there is basically the speech to text, and what it does is basically it like whatever we have spoken, it transcribes our text, like our speech in real time. And then we use Cerebras, which provides us LLMs, open source LLMs, uh, um, to basically format that whole unstructured text, because human speech is quite unstructured. So, in order to make sure that there are no fillers, there are no what happens is we kind of correct ourselves. So, we say something wrong, then we correct ourselves to make it. So to have all of those edge cases corrected, we use the LLM, LLM Cerebras, LLM hosted on Cerebras. So now what Cerebras is, it's basically an AI infrastructure, like it's one of the fastest AI infrastructure tools, like platforms around there, which lets you, like, which basically they use the compute to host open source model and run inference on them. So it's quite fast. It's much faster than other places. So the latency is quite low. So the first thing you need to do is basically get a Deepgram API. So go to console, like just sign up, and then you'll be heading to sign up an account and go to the dashboard. And here you will have your API keys. Just copy an API key. And the best thing about Deepgram is basically they give you $200 worth of credit. So as you can see here, I have spent what, like a couple of weeks. Like I've spent like 3 weeks trying this tool, and I've only spent about 70 cents. So it's going to last you many, many months, and you're not likely to exhaust this anytime soon. Um, and then go to Cerebras. After this, sign up here, get an account. Then you'll be so then you'll be basically brought to this platform. Here, there's playground and API keys. Just go in the API key section and basically generate an API key, and then so here just paste both of the keys, and you can other hotkey. So if you want to use any other button, you can choose here in the environmental options. And you can also change the model. So the model that we are using currently is Quen, but if you go here in the supported models section in their doc, PTOSS, Llama 3.1b, GLM 4.7, and Quen. So like Llama are completely free to use um, in a free account, and they kind of change the permissions for the free account based on usage for these three models. But I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use any of those three, at least one from any of these three. So just copy the model ID and just paste it in the .env if you want to change your model. um, um, So yeah, that's pretty much all you need, except you also need Python. So just once you have the API key pasted here, make sure you have Python downloaded. I'm pretty sure if you're using things like Cloud Code and all, you have Python installed. But still, if you haven't, just download the Python installed here. Whether you are on Mac or Windows, it should then be able to. You would have your separate way of downloading it. Just when you do it, you'll be able to access how this would operate. So um, the next thing we need to do in order to use this is basically go to our file section here after we have changed it into .env, and we have pasted our keys. Just right click and open it in terminal, and this is my file path, but basically you can change the file path depending upon the location of the folder. So just change the location of the folder, you'll be able to change the path as well. So um, the first thing we kind of need to do in order to set this up after we have Python installed is we need to install some dependencies. So just uh, copy this command, and paste it here in the terminal, and just click enter, and it will basically download all of the required like libraries and packages that are needed. And then yeah, you are pretty much good to go. And anytime you want to start this is basically like how I have started this is basically I just ran this simple command python main.py, and once you hit enter, this box will appear in the right in the bottom right section, and then you'll be able to use it anywhere you want, whether terminal, Google, search, or anywhere in the web. You'll be able to access this. So yeah, that's pretty much how you can build your own Whisper Flow. It is quite simple, right? Instead of paying $20, we just did this in what, like 10 minutes. And then yeah, you can pretty much use it for free. Since Cerebras actually gives you 1 million of worth of tokens every single day, which is basically more than you will ever need. So yeah, I mean, hope you like this video. Please feel free to give us a subscribe to support, and we'll be having much more videos for you guys. So yeah, let's log in. Bye bye.